A big thank you to all of you who like, comment, subscribe and share my videos, or through other means support this channel. You are what makes this channel grow and become a resource for other people to learn from. Enough about how awesome you are, back to the video. Welcome back. Today we are going to be taking a look at Cropout sample project. Now this is a sample project released by Epic Games for us happy viewers and users to learn from. This small project is available on the Epic Marketplace launcher. You can find it by going to the free category and Epic Games content. You can find it in the top for now. If you're looking at this in the future, it will probably be further down. But yeah, so this is the project, and we're gonna be talking a little bit about what it contains, what it's made out of, and some of my thoughts around this, essentially. So starting off, I have the project here, and if we start a project, you can see that we load up, and we have currently what is running as my saved game, or when I played last. So this game makes use of some loading and save games, and you can see immediately it has a very cozy feel to it. It's small and adorable, right? You have these characters walking around collecting resources and such things. So what is Cropout? Well, Cropout is a casual real-time strategy game that shows off some very basic building blocks on how to put a bunch of different aspects together as a whole package. The cute art style, as well as the attention to detail, lends a very cozy look and feel for the sample project. Everything is done in blueprints, so this project is much easier to explore and pick apart, to learn from, than the previous example, Lyra, which is very complex and modular, but a little bit of a behemoth and a little bit difficult to glance into to see how it works. So this is a smaller project. It's made completely in blueprints, and despite these parts, it is for the most part making use of best practices. So this is a fantastic learning resource overall. If you want to dive deeper into how different parts were set up in this project, then I highly recommend the video that was released in conjunction with the release of this sample project. The link for the video you can find in the description down below. So, how was this project created? What systems and features does it flex? Well, first of all, this whole island here was created with the use of PCG, or procedural content generation. It used it to create a island terrain using deterministic randomness. So each time you play the game, you get a new random island, but if you load a saved game, then it will load up the island exactly like it was randomized earlier. This and all other topics around this I have discussed earlier in my channel, so if you're an avid viewer, you will already be familiar with many of these things. The controls in this game is handled by enhanced input, showing off modular control that is also made for input for multiple platforms and input devices. So it will allow for mouse, keyboard, gamepads and touch. In addition to that, the UI is created using the new common UI suite, which allows you to have a unified look and feel to it. So if you go to pause over here, you can see that the buttons over here, it's all made of common UI, and you also have this build menu down here, and the same applies for this. So everything looks congruent and same and has the same feel essentially. The configuration for the game is one of the big parts of this. It's made in such a way that it's set up for release for multiple platforms, scaling for performance on several different fronts, from dropping down physics in how the characters act and look, to the level of details on meshes and such things. The characters themselves, they are run by AI making use of behavior trees to be kept simple and modular. And that's essentially all the highlights of what this project does. Now, to show you a little bit of how this works is you have this mouse marker. You can move around and you can select different things. You don't get any actual contextual information about it, but you can, for example, click on a character and then drag him to a resource, and that will abort what he's currently doing, and he will now assume a new job. In this case, it's going to be a gatherer of I do believe that this should be food, but it might be wood. I'm not entirely certain. These resources that we have up here show off what we have. So we have food, wood, and stone. So the whole point of the game is very simple. You just need to make sure that you don't run out of food, because if you do, that's a lose condition. And for win condition, what you need to do is you need to get enough resources to create a monument, and once you create a monument, you are then able to win, or you do win. So that's the whole thing. So it's very simple in its essence, but it shows off all of these different aspects working together as a whole, right? Which is very valuable to learn from. Now, keep in mind, the project is great, but it's not perfect. You will encounter some issues here and there, small bugs and edge cases that are not covered. But it is for the most part small issues and should not affect the learning much, in my opinion. Just to show off some of the edge cases I found while testing the project, you have the pause menu, for example. The pause menu here is using something called layers, essentially, in the UI. And each time, if I were to click the pause menu multiple times here, you can see that it's bringing up the menu multiple times, and that might not look like an issue at all. The problem is this creates a new layer each time I press pause, so each time I press resume, now I have to go through each of the different layers that has been thrown out by the pause button. So just a tiny little thing. Other than that, you also have things like the build menu. Building in this game consists of just clicking somewhere and doing, I don't know, a wheat field. Then you can see I get a wheat field here, and it will be showing green if I can place it, and it will be showing red if I cannot place it. There are some issues with this where you can see that if I put it like this, I'm not supposed to be able to place it here. But if I am quick enough and just do that and then spam place, I can, during certain circumstances, place it where I'm not allowed. So here I managed to get it a little bit too close. It's just a matter of how the validation of placement is done, essentially. So it's just minor things. It shouldn't present a large problem, in my opinion. But just so that you're aware that if you run into certain things, the code is not perfect. There are some things that you might encounter if you start digging into this to learn. But overall, I think this is a fantastic place to start and learning like a more holistic view on a game project. Anyway, that's going to be all for now regarding this. I hope that this was useful to you and you got a bit of a first glance of it. If this sounds interesting, make sure to check the longer video that was released by Epic on this topic, and you'll find lots of interesting aspects of how they optimized their game and how they approached doing different things and such things. And you can also leave them comments saying that the project is awesome, of course. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Keep on learning. Take care. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you did not like it, leave a dislike. Leave any suggestions or comments you have down below. Subscribe and share this video if you want to see more like it in the future. That is all for now. Keep on learning. Take care.